And we are the Coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn-free, civilly disobedient media, broadcasting live on the worldwide Coalition Media Network here at the GoLocalLive Broadcast Center, deep in the heart of the city we love, Providence, Rhode Island. The naked city, the city of 1,000 stories. Joining me in studio for the very first time, what I hope is the many times, is both Chris Morgan and Matt Resnick. They are the co-founders of the CBD Center of Rhode Island. Now, folks who have followed the show or followed our politics here know that we are overtly, if you will, in favor of complete legalization of cannabis. They will know that we are diehard supporters of the medical cannabis program here in the state, and I have testified a number of times in favor of said, and that we are grateful now that at some level hemp products are being incorporated into the day-to-day life of everyday Rhode Islanders. Today, however, is not a day for the political, and we'll leave that for other nights. What I hope we would accomplish tonight in the brief time that we have together is what I'll call CBD 101. There is a significant amount of misinformation, urban legends, myths, reefer madness, all surrounding what I believe to be the vanguard of the most, and I'm not trying to go crazy on the rhetoric here, but I believe the single most important product introduction, family of products, product introduction in recent American consumer history. And what I mean by that is there's lifestyle products that which we're going to focus on in the coming weeks. There are medicinal products in the term of topical and pain resolution approaches. Literally, there are, coming from hemp, everything from all of the above to consumer products, which can be manufactured using hemp. So we're at the vanguard, ironically, of a revolution that was sort of abandoned in the 19th century in certain ways, yet at the same time using modern technology, testing, manufacturing techniques, when it comes to pain relief and just really a variety of products that can improve the life of virtually everyone in the state, we're in a brave new world. So I'm grateful they joined us tonight for the first time. And let's start out, first of all, introduce each other, if you will, or introduce yourselves, and just give us kind of a background of how you got started in the business.
Yeah, well, first off, Pat, thanks for having us on tonight. Mm-hmm. We certainly appreciate that. My name's Matt Resnick. This is Chris Morgan. We are the founders of Rhode Island's first CBD-only retail store. Mm-hmm. We're in Johnston, Rhode Island, right on Hartford Avenue. Mm-hmm. We certainly hope a lot of our listeners come to visit us. As far as how we got into CBD, we have been kind of going at our CBD research for quite some time, and with the enactment of the Farm Bill, stores like ours were now allowed to kind of come out from the closet and, be out there in the general public. Mm-hmm. When we initially started looking into things, we decided that CBD is something that we saw a large benefit in from friends, family, people around us using on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And we decided that we wanted to bring more of that to Rhode Islanders.
And the important thing is, this is not only is it your primary focus, it's your only focus. I mean, we see stores everywhere. I see bodegas, I see gasoline stations, I see now a couple of the major, Johnny-come-lately, we oppose it for our entire life, major pharmaceutical chains who wanted nothing to do with it until they realized it was a profit. Did I say that out loud? Who are all of a sudden, everybody's CBD now. And that's why I wanted to have you guys on, because this is your complete existence. Your entire focus is on this line. So let's start from really the basics. If you're a child of the 60s like me, you're all too familiar, being a veteran of approximately 70 concerts of a certain tribal rock band that emanated in the Bay Area in the 1960s. Hypothetically, you may have come into contact with THC-based products. Hypothetically.
Absolutely.
First of all, let's define the difference between recreational weed and CBD. Just give folks an overview on that. It's one of those questions, by the way. Some of the questions I'm going to ask you are startlingly simple, but these are the type of questions that a lot of people, particularly as you get into my age bracket, quite frankly, are afraid to ask because they don't want to seem silly or out of date.
Absolutely.
So let it rip.
Well, we're here to help you and help them out, and being on the vanguard of this revolution here. Mm-hmm. We think we're the right folks to be doing so. Mm-hmm. The big difference between marijuana and hemp is that marijuana, scientific name, cannabis indica, typically has about 25% THC and about 3% or less of CBD, where the hemp plant, Cannabis sativa L, Typically has, anywhere from 15 to 25% CBD, less than 0.03% THC.
So the critical first step is there is absolutely no narcotic value whatsoever in a CBD product.
Absolutely no narcotic value as far as something that's going to have a psychoactive or intoxicating effect to somebody. If you're viewing a narcotic, as far as the way you term narcotic, to have some level of potential pain relief for some ailments and things like that, if that's what you're viewing as a narcotic, then I wouldn't necessarily, clone that way.
Right.
These products here are more of the medicinal side of things versus a lot of the THC side of things is more on the psychoactive side of things. So we're very focused on the medicinal and what that, powerful compound can bring.
Right. And one of the tragedies, if you will, of cannabis that we associate with the THC, which we associate with the psychoactive the presence of that on a high-level federal classification list has really stunted, in a lot of folks' minds, the ability to use CBD because of market confusion.
Market confusion and a stigma more than anything that really needs to be released. This is not a product from the marijuana plant that we're utilizing. However, the big misconception is that CBD is different in a marijuana plant versus a hemp plant. It is the same CBD, the same way that different, fruits, for instance. You can get the same vitamin C out of an orange and an apple.
Right.
You can get the same CBD out of the hemp plant and the marijuana plant. It's just much more prevalent within the hemp plant. Now, as far as the different things that we've seen, and I think this is a real big topic, when we were starting this, we were relying on some of our network that utilized these products and what they utilized them for testimonially. We read about a lot of things, which is great. Found a lot of knowledge, absorbed a lot of things, heard how these products were helping people. Until we opened on March 8th, these last 4 weeks or so, the people that have come in our store on a daily basis that not only have been using these products for a long period of time, the testimonial usage as far as the things that these products are doing, that everything we read, everything we saw, it was only the tip of the iceberg. These products are helping people with their ease of everyday living every single day locally, whether people believe it or not.
And so the ability of these products to contribute, in many cases, it's almost instantly. It's literally break glass and see it. In some cases, the ability of people to function on a day-to-day basis has been materially impacted almost within moments, if you will. I'm trying not to exaggerate here, but you really see some miracle changes in the quality of people's individual lives with these products. The tragedy being that they were suppressed, if you will, for whatever reason for so long. So give us some examples. And I know one of the ancillary challenges to this in a brave new market is people's concern about not just efficacy, the efficiency of the product, its ability, its actual uses, but they're also worried about safety. And I know you have a number of programs in-house. You're not contracting out because there's all sorts of, in certain respects, the CBD business and the legalized recreational business, there's an element of the Wild West to it. There's a lot of people popping up, they're coming in and out of business. You folks have taken a much longer term approach to that, both in the safety and the quality of the product. So tell us about some of the products and then some of the things that you're doing in terms of testing that can help give the customer a really good feeling about purchasing from you.
So one of the biggest things, and I'll let Chris kind of go a little bit deeper into this, is when we started looking into products, we got a lot of products in. We wanted to find the best of the best CBD products out there. We saw a lot of good response with the people that were trying these products locally. We then reviewed all of the certificates of analysis. Each manufacturer or producer of the product supplies you with a certificate of analysis that says what your CBD levels are, or at least what they're supposed to be, we should say.
Right.
We then aligned and started trying to find some things locally that we could separate these products. And one of the things we did is we have a couple really good labs locally. And we started testing these products on our own to make sure that all of the manufacturers were putting the same things on the label, actually getting into the bottles. And we found things from little to no CBD to, THC levels that essentially should not be given to certain people and could have a potential, psychoactive or intoxicating effect. Chris, through all of this, kind of came up with a little slogan that has become a little bit of our mantra, which is a consume with confidence,
Right.
which is a huge thing. And, you know, Chris can touch on that a little bit as well.
Yeah, and I tell you, it is important because we're ingesting this stuff, we're putting it in our body.
Right.
We've got to make sure it's good. We're doing it for healthy reasons. For me, speaking from personal experience, this fight, this CBD going legal because of its efficacy with seizures. I have a 4-year-old daughter who's epileptic, and you know, it hits home, and nobody knows how powerful, you know, CBD can be until somebody close to them is affected by that.
Right.
People that had the stigma, the reefer madness. I'm here to tell you, we see people every day, walking examples. And also, you know what, the aging demographics. I have 2 grandparents in a nursing home. One has early onset of dementia, and the other is Parkinson's. CBD was patented by the government in 2003 for being a very strong neuroprotective, antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's a damn shame that since 1937 this plant was put down, because look at the lapse of time, clinical studies, medical trials that could have went on and been performed. And we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg right now, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I know Matt is too, and we're looking to be the trusted choice in Rhode Island for CBD and CBD products.
And you illustrate some very important points. You know, it should go without saying that products you ingest into your body, particularly not just on a topical level, but you should be deeply concerned where you buy it. I'm just going to say this, please, with organizations like this in the state, do not buy salves at gas stations, okay? You know, you buy gasoline at gas stations. You buy diesel fuel at gas stations. You buy Mountain Dew late at night at gas stations, okay? That's the only thing you should ever buy at gas stations.
You can end up with snake oil at gas stations.
Really, and stay away from the roller grill too. But that's another. You know, unless it's a speedy, they're pretty good. But you know, ultimately, this is really the first. I'm a libertarian. I believe in free markets, and I believe that the markets themselves will do as good or better job than the government, if you will, of providing the certification, the documentation necessary to prove to the consumer that you're marketing a quality product. You folks, you know, this is your life. This is your business. This is your name is attached to it. You're working aggressively to promote this across the media landscape in Rhode Island, which I applaud, because you know there's a whole other level of frustration at another show what's going on with recreational. It's great to see that we've got a local source, so that local vendors, local companies are not going to fall behind like they are on recreational here in the CBD frontier. That's outstanding, because as Rhode Islanders, we need to support local businesses. As frustrated as we are with some of the other aspects of the political landscape here, we need to support local businesses. Bringing this expertise at home so that you're not just talking to an employee of a chain store is critical. Now let's talk about products. What are, and I know we could probably spend hours going over products, because literally, in products that are CBD based are being, and I'm trying to get someone on the phone who's in this business, are involved now in some of the most intimate personal products imaginable.
Oh my goodness, you're 100% accurate with that.
It's everywhere. But what are you? First of all, are you doing any of your own manufacturing, or are you spending most of your time sourcing locally from quality manufacturers that you are in fact testing?
So currently we're not manufacturing or producing anything. As far as what we've done is we've aligned with what we consider the best network of both locally and national vendors who you know, are selling consumable hemp-derived CBD products. And our methodology behind kind of vetting them, by making sure we're keeping them honest with their testing methods, we've found a group of vendors out there that are consistent, and we know what we're getting, which, like you mentioned, is the Wild West, and a lot of the rest of the Wild West does not have that, unfortunately.
Right.
Now, as far as the different products that are out there, it's anything you could possibly have in a regular product. They have a CBD product for everything from, people normally take CBD by means of an oil or a tincture.
Right.
That's general. Everybody knows about those.
Well, let's take that for a moment, though. What's the difference between an oil, and a tincture. You're addressing a group of people who are probably, like I said, very intimidated. It's sort of, for a lot of us, I'll draw an analogy here. It's like going into there's a couple of really nice wine stores on the east side.
Yeah.
And you go in there, and I happen to be a wine enthusiast.
Awesome.
So I'm comfortable. But the average person goes into a wine store and does this. And they're afraid, so many people are afraid to be seen as ignorant on a product that's so hot as this. So what's the difference between a tincture and an oil?
That's why, so in our store, number one, they don't have to know anything about CBD to come in. We have a staff that is trained beyond their years within these products and can educate people from a never one-time CBD user to an everyday CBD user, and is going to bring them through our product line, or our showcase as we call it, and identify which products can be most helpful based upon what they're looking for and what their past experiences are. Now, as far as the differences between oils and tinctures, I'd rather start with kind of what's CBD, so to an extent.
Right.
CBD or cannabidiol is the non-psychoactive, non-intoxicating compound that's found both within marijuana and hemp. Chris did a great job telling the percentage differences, essentially that hemp carries super high CBD with low to no THC. Marijuana is the opposite. Again, we talked about the same CBD. Now, what that CBD does when introduced to your body is the CBD helps stimulate the activity within your ECS, or your endocannabinoid system, which is a recently founded system that goes throughout your body. Not to get too complex on this system, but the most common, easy way to explain it is if a car is running low on oil and you add more oil to this car, the car as a system is going to run more properly and run better. Your ECS, or your endocannabinoid system, is running low on CBD. By introducing this additional CBD into your system, it will help stimulate that system and function at a lot higher capacity.
Is any level of CBD produced by the body natively, or is it this has to be really introduced, to the body?
It has to be introduced to have any true impact. There is not enough CBD within anybody's body naturally to stimulate these receptors and have these receptors firing on all cylinders. I'm going to bring them through our product case.
Yeah, so we have a lot of great products. We're bringing a lot of artisanal type craft products that we're picking throughout New England and the country that we deem to be the best products. For example, a local provider of full spectrum oil that we have out of Rochester, Massachusetts, right by Wareham. Them boys turn the cranberry bogs into hemp fields.
Excellent.
They're going to be growing about 15,000 hemp plants this year. We're excited. They're on the ground floor just like us, and everybody's looking up. We want to be a part of this great industry. Another company, Healing Rose, makes some great topicals. Get a lot of excellent reviews from everybody that walks through the door that uses them. They're another local company, artisanal, making the salves, chapsticks.
What are those salves?
Massage oils. The salves are great. They can be anywhere from like a daily moisturizer to great for skin issues, psoriasis, eczema. Matt has some psoriasis that he's been using, the Healing Rose, and it's been working great for him. Westfield, Massachusetts, another local company. I think it's another thing to note that when working with a lot of these farms and sourcing products, is that we're looking to utilize single source farms. Another one, Medterra, they're a big farm, one of the largest single source farms in America, out of Kentucky. Single source meaning they grow it, they extract it, we buy it, we have our own independent testing, and then it hits our shelves.
So this has got not only the potential as an economic boom in terms of getting folks away from some of the big pharma products towards individual relief of a variety of illnesses, but you've got an opportunity here in southeastern New England where the cranberry business is in significant trouble, where we're looking to retain some type of farm life balance here in our economy, to have a cash crop that can be used locally instantly, for which there is significant demand for.
It's absolutely huge.
So it's, and this is all as a result of the federal legalization of hemp, right? Not the kind of, my comments, not theirs, that crazy half-ass attempt at legalizing hemp where you had to pay $25,000 or $100,000 or $10 million or whatever it was for a license, right? So this is the feds finally coming down and saying, all right, you can grow hemp.
You got it.
Yep,
You
it's
got
legal.
it.
We're going to have a national pilot program setting off this year in Rhode Island. We're excited. We're meeting farmers. I know a lot of farmers that are going into it. Everybody's waiting for the rules and regulations to get finalized and sorted out. I'm sure once those things get sorted out, we're going to have a great economy here. Maybe even an industry.
It's funny. I'm looking at my front lawn saying, I'm not getting out of it. I don't need no damn grass.
You need a different kind of grass.
And that's still a ways coming. But I'll be one of those houses that are going to turn over everything. So let's give a couple of real-world instances. My wife was in an automobile accident in her early 20s. She's had consistent wrenching and back pain, and there's nothing surgical they can do. It's just you meet people. There's two types of people in the world: those with back pain and those without. And a lot of it has to do with just some inability to realign neural responses, things like that. Is there something for people in that situation that they could use?
Oof. Yeah, that's a great question. I have a cousin of mine that's been in a bunch of accidents, and he tells me he can feel every single one.
Right.
And as the years go on, those tend to hurt a lot more, weather-related in New England.
Yep.
Some turn to arthritic conditions as well.
Yep.
I feel that, Matt, do you want to?
A lot of pain that people are suffering from different injuries, whether it's accident-related, sports-related, whatever it is,
Right.
the main root of it is more likely than not caused by some internal inflammation.
Right.
This is one of the strongest natural anti-inflammatory compounds out there. By ingesting this product, whether it's sublingually, you're attacking that inflammation from the inside out a lot more powerfully than holding an ice pack on the top layer of your skin for some reason,
Right.
and things like that. So can it help with those things? Absolutely. Is this going to fix the underlying issue and say she's bouncing out of bed, dunking a basketball or something like that? Probably not. However, can this help her with everyday, living and ease of living? Mm-hmm. That is something that we've seen a lot of people have success with.
Right, and that's a critical point here because, ultimately, if you're taking over-the-counter medication and some of the aspirin replacements, when taken consistently over time, can result in severe internal issues, liver damage in particular. All right, if you can find alternatives to that, no one is expecting this to be a cure for rheumatoid arthritis. No one's expecting it to be a cure for repetitive motion injuries. But at the same time, what we've got here is a natural product that is a replacement for the mass-produced chemicals that we're ingesting into our bodies all the time.
Even if it's cutting down on somebody's pills, whether it's opiate use or something as low as a Tylenol or an Aleve that they take daily,
Right.
if it cuts them down from 3 Aleve to 1, that should be a win.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's, and again, there's so many other issues that you're not dealing with. It's less upsetting on a gastroenterological basis. It's, again, there's so many benefits from this. And the legalization of it is only going to promote more because of our ability to finally research it.
And the other huge thing as well, above and beyond that research as well, is we can't forget our pets. These products are widely used on pets, whether it's
Really?
dogs, cats.
Give us a couple examples because we know how people are about their
So any issue that we can have, as much as we may not necessarily hear your pet vocalize this,
Right.
your pet can have as well. Mm-hmm. There's pets with anxiety. There's pets with chronic pain. There's pets with insomnia. My pet's running around all night.
Right.
These products here, and granted, it's scaled based upon size of these animals. They're not taking a human-sized dosage of anything or anything
Right.
like that. But everything from pet treats to infusing an oil or a tincture within the pet's food
Right.
are different ways for them to ingest it. And the pet response that we've seen from the people that keep coming back to us has been a lot faster than a human response.
Right.
So we've had a great result in pets.
Now, if you could, some other terms that are thrown around, and feel free to jump in here.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
we're going to go in.
Back to those pets, I wanted to mention a lot
sure.
of feedback that I've gotten personally lately has been separation anxiety. People are leaving for the day. Good old Charlie boy staying home. Mm-hmm. And people monitor their house with these Cox systems and everything. They monitor their dogs. They watch their pets during the day on their iPhone and everything. And the feedback we're getting is that It's helping a lot with separation anxiety too for the pets.
Interesting. This is
The feedback we get is across the board. It just helps regulate our system as well as pets.
Even the topicals, the pets have skin issues the same way we do.
Yep.
right, and that's and it's so rough to see a pet suffer like that, and yet the cost of pet medicine, if you will. Wow, if it's nutty for us, let's see if what is a medible?
A medible. So a medible is, essentially, I think that's more on the
Right, but I want to distinguish.
medicinal marijuana side of things. However, are there CBD edibles out there? There definitely are. Everything from, your traditional candies as far as gummies, candy bars, bubble gum, beverages to, honey products. We have a great honey product that we have seen such a response in a lot of, true endurance athletes are taking it sublingually, and they're having an unbelievable response as far as recovery after workouts.
So you can infuse this honey product into your tea, into whatever recovery beverage.
Tea, coffee, or you can just take it sublingually under your tongue, and it's not going to necessarily have the same bite as a, plant full spectrum tincture.
Right.
And that's the most efficient form of administration is sublingual under the tongue. Put the oil or honey under your tongue for 30 to 45 seconds and wash it down with your favorite beverage. And that's the best way to get in our system. Edibles is probably the slowest, or the medibles. They go through your system. It takes a while to pass. A certain percentage of the product goes to waste. So if we want to be efficient in administering CBD into our bodies, it'd be sublingual under the tongue.
Okay. All right. So literally, there's no special techniques in the administration of it. Literally, everyone in their home can do something as part of their morning routine.
Yeah, you can vape this product should you decide to smoke. That's a little bit of a on the other side of things from what we are. We do have those products. However, vaping is an immediate onset virtually. However, it's also the fastest thing to leave your system.
Right.
So a lot of people supplement with those things, but are, in our opinion, having a base amount to get that higher dosage of CBD in your system and keeping it a constant is best utilized by means of an oil or a tincture.
Right, and without any of the potential harmful effects of smoking.
Correct.
And or vaping.
Correct.
I mean, what you're talking about is really just a replacement or an addition to your multivitamin in the morning.
Should be taken very similar to that. These products should be taken daily. These products should be taken around the same time every day, very similar to a prescription or a multivitamin. Your body's smart. It starts to look for these things around the same time, especially the system that they process. So it's definitely something that should be used very similar to that on a daily usage.
How did you guys were you folks using the product and just saw the potential, or what was your? I'm always intrigued. I've owned businesses. I've worked in privately held businesses. I believe there's two types of people in the world: those who have to make payroll and those who don't. Running a business is a complicated proposition here in New England. What was your motivation? What did you just discover the product, or were you? In your case, you said it was part of your family.
Yeah, I think that's the strongest kind of motivator to it all, as well as just seeing a lot of people around us utilize the products. Yes, I certainly do utilize the product. Chris does as well. However, seeing something so close to home and hearing all the things about CBD before we really knew a ton about it, how this drug with epilepsy is going to be passed through the FDA. It's going to be the first CBD-related drug, which finally went through, obviously. Having, something so close to home with any type of epileptic issues, it really hit home.
So the shopping experience, if you will, at the CBD Center. And first of all, let's jump in for a second. Where's your location again? Tell folks how they can find you.
So we're at 1239 Hartford Avenue, Johnston, Rhode Island. We are there Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 6:30. Saturday, being tomorrow, come visit us from 10 to 6. And then Sunday from 11 to 3. We also have a new fun thing called our Text Club, which if you text 411-669 and you text CBDRI to 411-669, you will join our text club where we can send out some offers, keep you up to date with what's going on at the CBD Center of RI, promotional items, as well as just informational stuff about CBD.
What are, and I know this has been a sensitive issue in the rec in the medical market. What forms of payment do you accept?
We accept all forms of payment currently.
Okay, and that's an important distinction because folks who are on a budget who want to use a credit card, they can come by.
Yep.
That's a challenge with regard to some of the wilder elements of the industry because of, well, federal issues.
Right.
You are beyond that now. You are a legal product for whom legal manufacture can start to take place very shortly on a local organic level, at a high level. So, folks, there's really none of the elements, and I want to stress that. Think of this as I'm old enough to remember in the 70s when the first health food stores opened up. And there was kind of for folks my age now, they're that kind of cynical look, like, what's this all about? And yet people who jumped in early found profound changes and improvements in their life.
I'm sure.
This is I'll think of you guys as the first CBD health store here in Rhode Island, where folks, without any legal implication, and I'm stressing that because, like I said, of the confusion in the market regarding the product, can have safely sourced product that can almost instantly provide potential remedial aspects to the day-to-day conditions you face in a legal tested environment using in a legal conventional retailer environment. There's really, we're past all of it now. It's a brave new era.
We don't have to convince people. People hear CBD everywhere. You turn on the Today Show, you turn everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere you hear CBD. We don't have to convince people that the wave is coming. We just need to let people know that we have the best board.
Right.
Everybody wants to be on our board with this wave. We are doing things that other people are not, and I'm not bad-mouthing our competition.
Right.
We are just taking these additional steps because if we're letting anybody take these products off our shelves, we want to be comfortable knowing that we are perfectly fine inducing them. Our friends, family, children, whoever it is can induce them as well.
Okay, and a typical shopping experience, particularly as a first-timer.
Yes.
You walk into the CBD Center of Rhode Island, you're a first-timer, you could be of any age, any background whatsoever. You're going to approach the desk, and folks there, you can explain to folks what ails you, right? I mean, is it as simple as that?
You're just going to walk through the door. You're going to get greeted with probably a handshake and a smile. It's going to be welcoming. If there's a line or a wait, you can just grab a deli ticket. We have those set up. We have very comfortable seats. We have information playing on our menu boards. But when you walk up, you're just going to find somebody that's all about you. It's about your experience. We want to provide a great experience. And what is ailing you? Why are you coming to the CBD? And how can we help you out? And everybody's different. So we let our clients or patients or wherever we're going to call them moving forward dictate, the path that we're going to go down and how we can help them. And there's so many different forms of consumption. Everybody uses it a little bit differently for different ailments. So we'll walk them through what CBD is. We're going to let everybody know that the government's had a patent on that since 2003, and 19 years later or 16 years later, everybody's finding out about it. It's mainstream. Coca-Cola's jumping in it. Beverage companies left and right, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and we'll be looking to work with some local vendors and providers of those companies as well. But you're going to find everything you need to know about CBD. There's no dumb questions. Ask anything and everything. We want you to be informed, educated, so you can consume with confidence. And we'll take as much time as that takes with any individual person on a one-on-one consultation. And we've had great response with it.
Excellent, excellent. Folks, if you just joined us, I've got Matt Resnick and Chris Morgan. They are the co-founders of the CBD Center of Rhode Island. The website's actually that simple. It's cbdcenterofri.com. They talked about their text club. By the way, this hour, and I have a feeling I have to introduce you to each other because I've got to believe there's a root beer CBD infused Yacht Club beverage in our future.
It's very possible.
Very possible.
It's very possible. I have tried those Yacht Club beverages. They are delicious. So adding a little extra health component might help us a little.
Rhode Islanders, working with Rhode Islanders, there's nothing better than that.
Oh my goodness! And I have to give out every hour. We're blessed to have sponsors here. I have to give a shout out to Yacht Club Bottling. They're up and kicking for the new summer coming up. I'm going to tease you. There is a new flavor on the works that's going to be released in just a few weeks, just in time for summer. Listen, folks, Yacht Club Soda, Rhode Island's boutique soda before you even knew you needed a boutique soda. 100 years before the hipsters, as I like to say. all natural ingredients, real cane sugar as opposed to that fructose madness, clear local water, served up in ice cold in a glass, the way soda was meant to be. If you're of a certain age, you'll remember this tastes like the soda that I drank when I was growing up. They've got dozens and dozens of flavors. My favorite, of course, is root beer. I'm a sacrilege, I know. I'm not a beer guy. I'm a root beer guy. But just wonderful stuff, folks. We're coming upon one of the holiest times of the year. Depending on your faith tradition, whether it be an Easter or Passover, whatever that special supper you're preparing for your family, you're going to spend a lot of time and probably a fair amount of money. So don't serve the refinery plastic jug O soda with it. You've got the very best soda on the planet right here in Rhode Island, from a ginger beer and a ginger ale. They've got great mixers which are being used by craft bartenders all over the state of Rhode Island. And of course, some of my favorites, root beer, sarsaparilla, and one of the newer flavors, which is an orange cream. So yachtclubbottlingworks.com, available at their Centerdale store, as well as retailers all over New England. They're one of our sponsors. So now I feel like it's a personal mission. I have to make sure you guys meet John. And I'm here to be your test case, okay?
All
you
right.
can just feed me induced root beers all day long and just lock me in the back, and
I like it.
I'll be fine.
We'll be awake.
Absolutely. Listen, I want to thank you guys so much for coming in. I'd love to have you bring products online from time to time, and just for so many of us for so long have pressed for this moment.
Yep.
And we're just proud as hell that someone in Rhode Island is in a position to be on the cutting edge of it, and we certainly wish you nothing but the best. And I know that we've steered away from the political this time. Maybe not so much next time. I know that I'll just throw this out there. My comment, not my guess, but there are attempts to levy some. Here we go, Rhode Island. We got a great product to levy some taxes on it, and I would ask you to reach out to your individual state legislature. If you don't know who they are, reach out to me, and I'll reach out to them, and they'll wish you'd called. But we don't need to take Rhode Island companies, whether they be Yacht Club or now the CBD Center of Rhode Island, and make products more expensive for Rhode Islanders. I'll just leave it at that. Let's give a product like a line like this an opportunity to take hold in the community so people can recognize its benefits, and then we'll sit down and we'll figure out something later on.
Nice.
So I thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
All
Hopefully
right.
you can stop by the store and come see us shortly.
I'm gonna do the old Facebook Live from your store. Just I think that would be fun if I sit with one of your folks and they can lead me through it, or my wife through it, and do just kind of a Facebook Live so people can see exactly what the experience is like. And let's any things from what I hear, things are going great guns.
Things are going great. We've been very well received from the medical field to the locals in our area to people throughout the state. It's been great. We are again 1239 Hartford Avenue, CBD Center of RI. Come on down and visit us. You do not need a medical marijuana card to get in our doors.
Thank you. Critical point.
And anything and everything CBD, we're there. Whether you've used CBD or not, come on down. We can talk it through, and it may be a fit for you, it may not, but we're going to identify it specific to you.
And I don't think there's clearly any harm in trying something. If folks are suffering, they need to at least avail themselves of every opportunity. There are different products in your line which will help different people at different times, at different steps in whatever medical process or journey they're going through. But listen, I think we all understand at this point that the news is filled with headlines about people dealing with pain management. And pain management is so many people are only a car crash away from a lifetime of chronic pain and or substance abuse issues that come with it. So let's all give this a shot, and let's see how we can improve each other's lives.
Awesome.
And you know what? I'm going to extend an offer tomorrow to all the Go Local Prov listeners. Come in tomorrow. See me. I'll be there. Matt will be there. 10 to 6. Mention GoLocalProv.com. Get 10% off your purchase tomorrow.
There you go. I'll put that out to the listeners.
Awesome.
We like it.
All right.
Thank you
Gentlemen,
very much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Any other... Cumberland, nice place to open up a location.
All right.
Okay.
We'll have to get up there.
We're just saying.
All
We're
right.
going to take a quick break right now for a few minutes. Folks, you are listening to the Coalition on the Worldwide Coalition Media Network here at the Go Local Live Broadcasting Center. 90 Way Boston Street, deep in the heart of the city we love, Providence, Rhode Island. Facebook.com/The Coalition Radio, on the Mighty Mighty Twitter at Coalition_radio. CoalitionRadio.us, where you'll find links to our YouTube channel and also to our podcast efforts. Folks, stay tuned, and we're going to be back in a few minutes. We're going to be doing some libertarian stuff as well as some other interesting economic news. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.